Okay, so we're going to need to first, to protect the profile page, we're going to need to do a couple of things. We're going to first need to have a way for the client to know whether the current user is still a valid user. And so let's implement an endpoint where the client can come back and ask whether the user is still a valid user. And should they be allowed to navigate to that location, right? So let's do that here. The client is going to come back here whenever we navigate to a protected area. He's going to come back saying, "Hey, is the user that is navigating here, are they currently logged in? If not, then we would like to challenge them, right, and have them enter their username or password. Otherwise, we should just let the current user go, right?" So we're going to implement it this way, right? So here's logged in. We're going to check with passport. Is it authenticated? If it is, then it's going to respond to current user. Otherwise, we'll respond with a 0 or false or something we all agree that is a non-valid, a non-user. Okay. On the client side, we're going to implement the logged in service, right, on the client. Let's go to the user client side and let's implement logged in. Right, it's going to go out to the API logged in, which we just implemented, and let's not do this here. Let's not do that there either. It's going to go out and check to see if it's logged in. And come back either with a JSON object or the 0 that we're sending back. Okay. Now on the component side, right, we need to protect now the component, right? To do that, we're going to create a brand new authentication service, right? That we're going to use as a point of checking to see if the current user is logged in and to protect any pages, any components that we want to navigate to. Right, so to do that, we're going to go to the services and create our brand new service on the client. Right, create our authentication service. So this would be authentication.service.client.ts, and we're going to copy this code here. And needs the user service here. The user service, I don't remember where it is. Can I find it? No. User service. Will it autocomplete? No. Let's see. What is it? Oh, there it is. It's in the same directory. Excellent. So what it's going to do is it's going to use my user service logged in, right, to vote on whether the user can be allowed to go through or not. Right, implemented this can activate interface that has a single method called can activate. Now that we have that, we'll need to register our brand new service as a provider. Right, our new authentication service. Declare it here so that it can be used elsewhere. And now in the router, right, we can now protect our profile page. We can protect it by saying can activate and use our authentication service. Right, it's gonna go out to the authentication service and say, hey, can this person go there? Right, and there could be several, or they can be for different purposes. For instance, if I'm going to a profile, I just want to check to see if you're logged in. But if I'm going to maybe an admin page, right, maybe I should be a little bit more strict, right? Not only do you need to be authenticated, but you need to have the right role, right? So perhaps I could have two things that need to be checked. Are you logged in? And is the role correct? right? If any one of those fails, then no, you can't go to the admin page, right? Okay. All right, so now that we have that, the profile component presumably has been protected. If you're not logged in, you should not be allowed to go there. Anything else? Let's see. Okay, we did that. I think that's it. Oh, I did remove this, didn't I? The router. I think we do need that router, don't we? We need that router if it fails. If it does fail in the logged in, right? I do want to navigate you to the login page, but I don't have a router here, do I? I'm going to need to inject that over here. Private router. And that is of type, did it find it? Import. Router, there it is, right, with the correct colons. All right. If indeed it's successful, I would like to store the current user in the shared service, which again we don't have. Let's inject that too. Shared service, which it includes. All right, I think we're done. Let's see if this explodes. Okay. All right. I probably need to restart the server. Let's go now to the login page. Login as Alice, and it goes to the profile. So that worked. Let's log out. Let's try to go to the profile page. And notice that it kicked me back to the login page. Right? It did not let me go through, because it went to on the server. On the server, it's going to logged in. I notice that if I try to go to profile, right, it goes to the server, right, to check to see if it's currently authenticated, right. The current user, notice that is undefined, right, because nobody has logged in. So it goes and sends back a 0. And that 0 kicks me back to the login page. If instead I log in, notice that I have already gone through the login. The current user is no longer null if there's a model associated to it. Okay, it's not undefined, and instead it's going to kick me back to the user, right? And I have Alice logged in there. See that? All right. All right. I think the slides that I provided here are sufficient to get you through the first couple of steps that you need to do for the assignment. I'll be adding additional slides to work on the Facebook and the Google. For the assignment, the requirement is to use Facebook, and for the project, you're required to use some other authentication, either Google or Twitter or whatever you want. Ideally, Google, because everybody has a Google account. Otherwise, if you're using something else, we might not have accounts there. Okay? All right.